Okay, continue where we left off for the level 3 spreadsheet for accounting sample paper, sample 1. So we did on the previous recording, we did up to task 3. So task 4, it said Cohen would like you to analyse his sales by the sales assistants employed. So Laura, Cohen and Hayden, etc. Rio, blah, blah, blah. So use the appropriate function to subtotal the quantity in column F. So the quantity, also column G, which is the revenue for each sales assistant. Okay. So we need to basically do a subtotal for each of these individual sales assistants, but we need to get them in order of sales assistant first because they're all over the place. So let me show you what we do. So if I highlight over the table, before you do the subtotal, you have to organize them first. So I'm going to go on to sort, custom sort, and we're going to do it by, it tells us in the question, by sales assistant. So sort by sales assistants, click OK. So you see it puts them in order now, that Hayden, Cohen, so on and so. So now we've done that, we can do the subtotals. And what are the subtotals of Hayden's sales and quantities, so on and so forth? So we highlight over it. And now we can go on to do the subtotal. So watch, subtotal. It wants us to do it as sales assistant, which is what we've done. So I've clicked the box. You've got sales assistant here. It also wants the quantity and also the revenue. Okay, so I'll just tick those. So revenue, quantity, sales assistant, click OK. And now you'll see what happens. It puts them in order. So now we've got all Hayden, who's a sales assistant here. We've put his quantity and we've also put his revenue figure here. So 47 units, total value 2,365. You've got these other little tabs here, which will show you the grand totals overall, and then a breakdown for each of the sales assistants. So it's asked us to group them, which is what we've done. We'll subtotal. So we can click that one. Everything is, make sure everything is seen. It's not as yet, so just make that, so double click. So make sure we can see all the data that we've got. Okay, so we've done that. Number 5 said Cohen would like to analyse his sales data for last year. He has 3 sales outlets, so as you can see, shop, internet, so on and so forth. The shop, the cake decorating school, and the internet. He's trying to identify the best-selling line of the year and sales outlet which generated the most income. So open the sales analysis sheet we've got here. And it says using the data from A3, which is there, through to D56, we're going to create a pivot table and charts on the same sheet starting in A3. The pivot table show the products in rows and types of sale in column. Okay, so we're going to highlight over the information as it tells us to. Right. And then we're going to insert. On mine, it sometimes has, or usually it has pivot table and chart on here, but mine just has pivot table, okay? Yours might have pivot table and chart. I'll show you if not. If I just go to pivot table here, and it said for us to put it, so where do we want to put it? So we've highlighted all the data. Choose where you want the pivot table to be placed. So in the existing worksheet, and it said it wanted us to do it in I3, didn't it? So I3, okay. So click OK. And then it tells us it wants the, what does it want? It wants the revenue. So product. That's what it wanted, didn't it? So let me have a look again and see what it wanted. So it wanted the product, the type of sale, so the product in, there's the product, Then what's the type of sale in columns? So the type of sale, it said it wants that in columns, so I'm going to move that over to the columns. And we obviously also need the revenue there as well. So we'll click revenue. And you'll see it's put the information in. But you'll also notice on mine as well that I've got a pivot chart up here as well. So watch, it does the pivot chart for me as well. So it's highlighted all over. So from that pivot table, we've also got the pivot chart. Again, if you might have where it says insert, you've got pivot table and chart. So I've done that. And it wants us to do it as a 2D cluster. So let's have a look. So you've got the various options here. You've got clustered. You've got a stack column here, 3D clustered column, 3D stacked. What did it ask us to do? We can change that in a minute, can't we? Let's put that in there. I think it wants a 3D clustered column. Click OK. I'll just double check, see what it actually did say. Yeah, it does say 3D clustered column. So we've done the pivot table. And then we double show the product rows and the type of sale. And then we've got the chart type, which is a 3D column chart, which is what we've done. So ensure the legend is visible on the left-hand side of the chart. And it says change the color of the school data series to green. Okay, let me show you. So we've got this information here that it asked. And it wants us to do the legend. So what she wants this to be on the left-hand side. So if you click on that little arrow here, and then go to legend, and we're going to put it on the left-hand side, because that's what it wanted. Let's just make it look a bit nicer for you. Okay. And it also says that the schools, this one here, it wants it to be green. So watch when I click on it, so you'll get highlighted. And then I just right click and you've got a fill here. So I've got a fill and it wants it to be green. So I've made them green, okay? And equally, you could have done it over here. Go by there, sorry. So you could, there's another way of doing it, but you could do it, but that's the best way I found to do it. I'll just leave it at that. So just highlight on it and then right click. You see that you can see the fill here. So I've filtered it green. So I've done that. Okay. So we've got a 3D column. We've put the legend to the left-hand side of the chart. We've changed the color of the school data series to green. Okay. And now it says Cohen would like to know which of the top 5 sales in the period in terms of revenue. Okay, so using conditional formatting in column D to format the top 5 sales items as light red fill and dark red text. Okay, so conditional formatting, it wants to know the top 5 sales in this row here in column D. So I'm going to highlight them overall. And then conditional formatting. And I'm just going to do the top rules, okay? This one says top 10 rules, but I'm going to go to top 10, but I'm going to change it to top 5. So watch, top 5. And it's got the different colours in here. So light red fill, dark red text. So you've got a variety of different things in here. Yellow fill with dark yellow text. So just bear in mind of what you're given in the question. So this is light red fill and dark red text. So click OK. And then you'll see that it's highlighted the top 5 sales in that particular column. Just make sure we can see everything. Again, just be wary of that. It might actually do top 5 or top 10. It's top 5 this time, top 10 generally. Okay. So methinks that's it. So let's have a look at see what it says. So we've done conditional formatting and then we finished it. I'll do the other one as well from sample 2. So you got time to practice when it comes to doing the assessment. In the meantime, good luck and have a good day.